And I guess we're back for part two. I think we got everything situated. Again, apologies to everyone who views TDN TV or Islands Therapy, Support Islands Therapy or Dissect. And yeah, we got the man Rye in the building. We're not gonna do the introduction anymore. Bring everybody back onto the screen and let's continue where we left off. So let's go. Right, we good?
Yes, so
Okay.
we better be good.
Yeah, all right.
So good. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
Directly live, live and direct. Loving it,
Yeah, man.
loving it. We're
all
back
right.
on.
So at this point, I would like to ask everybody to go ahead and share the live. We have lost quite amount of viewers, so please go ahead and share the live. And yeah. So right, you were saying you were taking in the show last week.
Yeah, I was taking in the show last week with Maurice and stuff like that, which was really, I brought back a lot of memories and stuff like that. I mean, yeah.
Right.
And I think Maurice is one of the real honest guys. I mean, that he bring out the vibes as it is, and he wasn't sugarcoating nothing.
Right.
I think that was very important to, to keep it real. You check
Right.
me? Keep it real, the
Right.
sugarcoat nothing. And, of course, you don't want to be bringing down anybody and, like a tug of war and fight down and stuff like that. But no, it has certain vibes that have to come out real, Yeah, and I
Right.
think he's one of those guys to me that hit it like that. I unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the one with Ulson and Daly, but
Okay.
I'd really like to hear them, live and thing, giving
Well,
their vibes, But yeah,
well,
To be
Urson and
honest.
Deli had some good things to say.
yeah,
They spoke about their teachings, I guess, their lessons, starting from RSB to you in raw rhythm, and all the way up to where they are right now, right? So um, I wasn't going to touch on this, but I just happen to have this in my hand for some reason, and that's
don't
the
put it,
original.
don't put in
Not
my
sorry.
spectacles. Hope to see that.
Okay, that's it. That's the two show two flam CD
Oh,
I'm
that
holding up.
one there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right,
And
yeah.
just to touch on it, I was actually just reading through the credits,
Yeah, yeah.
and I do see Morris' name in the credits. So
Oh, yeah. Mm.
um but you said something important, and which I wanted to touch on. Like, how does it make you feel when you hear people, and not Morris in particular, but just people in general, that would come and bash, the music, the Bouyon music, or even bash the island? How does that make you feel, being like, an originator of Bouyon music?
Well, we have two different issues there. We have the Bouyon music and the island. The island in itself, I mean, the island is the island. The people on the island is a different thing.
Right.
Um, when it comes to the music and the bashing the music, I don't know. Everybody have their vibe, and they have their reason for saying whatever they say. But no, knowing that the music come from DA and is a DA product, I think they should big it up. They should give it some strength and stuff like that instead of like trying to bring it down.
Right.
Uh, they have their rights, of course, to talk about the music, meaning the compositions and stuff like that, and the lyrical content. But
Hmm.
now certain things happen for certain reasons, you know. And I guess maybe they're talking about maybe bands like maybe Triple K and stuff like that, their
Right.
lyrical content.
Right.
And I wouldn't really in particular want to bring down those guys. Why? Because they come in at a kind of a crucial time
Hmm.
where the present members of WCK that was supposed to be like pushing the vibe, to
Right.
me, them and I turn their back on the whole scene. You check?
Right.
And they were imitating other things, and I mean that wasn't the whole intention of the band,
Right.
because really and truly when the band started, it started sounding almost like Flames and sounding almost like Jam Band and sounding
Right.
almost like all the rest of those bands from the Leeward Islands. And me personally, I find I didn't really like that. I wasn't really a fan of that vibe, you know.
Right. So
Meaning
you
that
wanted your own
I do
sound.
like to copy. I like to be original. You
Right, of
check?
course.
And when that happened, I decided, boy, you know, we have so much different rhythms in the place. We had the Bele, we had the Lapo Cabuet, we had the Jingping and all those kind of things there.
Right.
Why not use those kind of rhythms instead of being a copycat?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's where the idea come in with we didn't give it the name at the time, but there's where the idea came in to really do us instead of doing other people. Because as I tell you already, I really do like to song like other people. I want to
Right.
song, I want to song like me, you
Of
know,
course.
because to me, a mark of a true musician is being original. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can song like James Brown, you can song like this one, you can song like whoever, but now when you do yourself, I think that's what the world does really appreciate you for. And that's what the world really appreciate the band for.
Right.
Because it come up with something different, something original, something they didn't already hear about. For instance, when you sample the conch shell and stuff like that, it
Mm-hmm.
mash up the whole place because now the conch shell was never sampled. And I mean, the conch shell not only unique to us, I mean, you have the whole Caribbean. You could talk about Haiti, you could talk about whoever,
Grenada.
Grenada, you could talk about Saint Lucia, you know,
Right.
because we all of us come from the old African origin,
Mm-hmm.
and we know about the conch shell, you know,
Right.
because I remember Mr. Desiree is a Haitian, you know, he was doing sculpture and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a piece with the guy kneeling and blowing the conch shell. So I knew, well, you know, that wasn't like only us. So that means that's a whole African kind of a vibe.
Right.
And remember the journey that we make,
Right.
you know, that we made, you know, from Africa to the Caribbean and stuff like that. And some of us, we kept the culture, and that's the whole vibe, you know. So that
Mm-hmm.
was one of my whole thing about doing and creating Bouyon music, because we have so much original rhythms and stuff like that. And when you hear the rhythm, you listen to Afrobeats now, and you're in, you know, some of what we'll do, some of the accents that we do. So that means that the whole thing travel first, you know, from all the way from Africa, you know, and we're very
Right.
fortunate. It's only now, if you know that DA on a whole, like really opening kind of internationally, you know,
Right.
all the time, you know, that we were like more or less in ourselves, you know, one, two people used to visit DA, but DA
Mm-hmm.
was like one of the best kept secret. You know,
Right.
we go different places, you know, but when we come back home, you know, we know that's our little secret spot, you know.
Right.
We have our rivers, we have our thing and stuff like that. We wasn't really caring too much about tourism. You check?
Right.
But no, we see the vibe now. We open up now to tourism, and you're seeing what's happening right now. You
Right.
know, but so basically on the area of our culture and our rhythm and stuff like that. So that's how the whole vibe came up, you know,
Right.
the whole, you know, booyah kind of thing. But of course, as you know, from youth, I playing from 2 years old, and
Right. Right.
and stuff like that. So I like a lot of drums. I like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of drums and percussions. Of course, you know, keyboard following on the piano, fall,
Yeah.
you know, under the percussion section, you know.
Right.
So I had that kind of a knack for that vibe, you know. So, you know, so days where it really start, you know. Of course, I
Right.
did Harambe in my early days, you know, like when I was like 7, perform with Harambe, you know, my
Uh,
performance is, you know, start from since then, you know.
so
Nice.
Arambe would be what, a band or a
No,
group?
Harambe was basically, it was a theater group led by Natalie Charles, you know, Nats, we call her Sister Nats.
Okay.
First,
Okay.
he was
Oh,
studying in Canada,
Mm.
right you all are, in Canada you all be, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right, in Canada, she was studying in the university in Canada together with people like Ruzi and stuff like that. And you know the whole long story of that, and she get deported
Right.
and all that
Right.
kind of a story, which we do wasn't really so happy about because she was in the Black Power movement, you
Okay.
know.
So that was it
And
over in
yeah,
Montreal.
so when she came down, she formed that group.
Right.
So I was in that group from since I was maybe over like 7, you
Right.
know, and we performed performance poetry and stuff like that. You know, something like what Rasmo do and Washla them man there. So years ago from
Okay.
Salik Youth, we've been doing that with drums and percussions, and make it further again there. My brother and myself, we formed a group called the Group I. We were doing the same kind of a thing like drums and percussions and voices, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
we did that, you know. So I had that vibe from since when. So people like Ras Algie, Rasmo passing that,
Right.
people like Rosman Lander, you know, Isila Ufa, Greg's, you know, Albert Williams, you know, Peter Fingal,
Mm-hmm.
Tony White, you know, we had quite a few members in there. Of course, we had the Tula brothers and his brother, yeah. They were in there, you know, yeah.
Okay. So
So, you know, yeah, we did that kind of a style there. So the chanting and thing was always in us, you know, because that's what we used to do when you're R&B from chanting, you know, we used to chant.
so that's what I was going to. That explains why we like that explains the chanting in the Bouyon when we started hearing it.
Yeah, well, the chanting, I had the idea, but I really call upon like Skinny and stuff like that. I didn't know, I wasn't even aware that Skinny was in a group called Clockers at the time.
Right.
I didn't know they were called Clockers at the time, but now,
Yeah, I think
um,
Novelist was in that group also, I think.
yes, of
My
course,
Yeah.
memory
that's why I
serves me
get on.
correct.
Yeah, Novelist was in there. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, it wasn't like Skinny I was going to use to do that. I was going to use some other guys to do that. But now them guys were really youth. So you must know, I don't know if you know Vet and those guys. There's a few of them, Vet and
No.
a few of them. I can't remember. Yeah. The man
No.
was from Kinfield area.
Okay.
Yeah, the man was from Kinfield area. I see
And
one or two of them here now and then. And that took for the guy with the Charles pharmacy. You know, he had a daughter and she came to me. She told me, well, we have some guys that they can rap and stuff like that. You know, I wanted to bring them in the vibes and stuff. So I said, well, no problem. So I
right.
listened to them. I see, well, you know, some are doing rap, some are doing like hip hop kind of R&B kind of vibes. I say, well, fine, because no, this could work. But no,
Right.
they were like youths at the time, 12 years, 13 years.
Oh,
Because he
okay.
was a
Okay.
bigger guy.
Right.
And we used to be doing things like good times and stuff like that.
Right.
Skinny was right there. So we just used to pass the mic for Skinny because that's the time now when we did the whole session for the night, you know,
Right.
talking about WCK, right? Don't to
Mm-hmm.
talk about it too much because it bring all kind of feelings. We do our whole session. Sometimes we start about like 11 o'clock and we finish about 5 o'clock a morning time.
Right.
So when
Okay.
we finish about like 4:30, 5 o'clock, then
Mm-hmm.
we do a different session. A session now with the Basie, guys Keith,
Yeah.
Morris running the machines and I doing the drums and stuff like that. And we
Right.
run the session. We do another session for another 3 hours straight. Then we
Mm-hmm.
call different man to come and do different chat, you know. It had
Right.
Humpty, Skinny would come. It had quite a few different guys, you know.
Okay.
So when we decided we wanted to put that vibe inside of there,
Mhm.
then you know Skinny was the one that we decided we wanted to bring in. But
Right.
apart from that, I know Skinny mother and she had asked me, you know, boy, you know, bring Skinny in the vibes and so I say, well, I was not aware Skinny was your son.
Right.
She
Mhm.
tell me bring Wayne. I say, well, who's Wayne? She tell me my son. I say, well, Skinny is your Skinny is your son. She tell me, yeah. I say, well, no problem, man, because I knew Angel from long time, you know.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
decided to bring Skinny in the scene and stuff like that. Not being
Yeah.
aware that, you know, he had a crew with
Right.
Novelist, Junglist, Sky,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jungle.
And you actually say that in a
yeah, but of course,
you say that
I
in a
find
song.
a song
You,
freaking to me.
you,
So
you know the funny you know the
yeah,
funny thing you know the funny thing
I
about
like,
that.
you know, I like spontaneous, I like vibes and stuff like that. You know, so
Right.
But you know what
I dig it up one time.
you know what's funny about what the novelist junglist thing, Raf, for me.
Yeah,
um well, in Canada, where I grew up at the time when that song came out, the ghetto, they used to call it jungle.
yeah,
So anytime we leave, the jungle area and we go anywhere else in Toronto, they ask you, yo, where you from? You say, junglist. So it's funny when you actually say that in the song, novelist, junglist. I check in, oh, the heck ran away from jungle.
You see, what
But
happens is that you see when Jah puts certain vibes inside of you, you
Yeah.
check me. Certain things just come out naturally because just like what Morris was talking last week, you see what Rai used to be singing certain thing and he saw certain
right,
people that they didn't know, but now it just come out so natural. I don't have to break my head to make a song.
right,
So your
Anytime I
environment
have
was
to
your
make a
influence.
song, I are getting a problem. I
right.
suppose it just flow,
Of
and that's
course.
why Morris could just find it's so easy to work with me, and I
Right.
find it so easy to work with him because now we had that kind of a I don't know as the word synergy or all kind of a fancy word and the terminology. So uh,
The
basically
emotional
that was
atmosphere.
the vibe,
hmm
And of course it had certain things and when I see it, it will bring things from my youth time,
Right.
and I just bring it out, it's like too many cooks will spoil the soup and too many cooks will spoil the bouillon.
Yeah.
Mwen mette sel, mwen mette zoyon, mwen mette funiti, mwen bay pima. You take me so real thing like that, so like it's like a automatic,
Right.
Life experiences.
Yeah,
Life
man, it's
experience.
automatic. And my queen loved to sing and my queen loved to party and stuff like that.
hmm
She sang a lot of Protestants songs, She was
Right.
of the of Catholic, we go Catholic
Oh,
still,
okay.
but
Okay.
no, she
All
went
right.
to all the Protestant churches,
Right.
Pentecostal and all that, and she'd come with all those kind of songs, and I used to be fascinated about them.
hmm
Yeah, what a friend we have with Jesus and all kind of a thing. Like Bible, yeah. And she would have let it go, singing it out while she cleaning a fish and sharpening a knife and
right.
on with it and stuff like that, you know what I
But
mean? Yes,
but
yeah.
but even those like you're talking about that experience, and even those showed up in some of your songs as well.
No,
Because
real thing. That's why I tell you I never break my head to make a song. Anytime I break in my head to
right.
make a song, Sapa Vuya, Sasi, you know, I just
So
making it up,
yeah, yeah.
But again, no, from the culture area and stuff like that,
hmm
um, when it comes to the Jinping and stuff like that and the quadrille, I'm always picking that up from my people and them from the countryside, which is River City Grand Four area.
Right.
And they used to be doing the quadrille,
Okay.
And of course, they'll be doing that for during independence time. It was
hmm
independence at the time. It was
Right. Right.
statehood. It was National Day,
Oh.
Statehood Day and all that kind of a thing. But they would come down and, they always had that competition around November time.
hmm
And they would come down and they would always emerge number one, So I used to follow them wrong, because when they come down to town, coming from the countryside, they would always be dressing by us. The men, we had 2 houses in River Street, where I come from, where I born.
Okay.
And some of the ladies would be dressing, Lower River Street where we had the bakery. And the men
Right.
would be dressing up Upper River Street, where, my queen used to be pulling up and stuff like that, So
hmm
I followed them around. They were from since I was youth. And of course, I frequently went to the country, and live the life,
Right.
when we had Buzai, I don't know if anybody know Buzai. You know what's a
Yeah,
Buzai?
I don't know if Iman know what a bullseye is. Nika may not know what a
If
bullseye
I
is.
know what I'm,
You know what a
No,
bullseye is, Iman?
I think
Okay.
we're talking about two different bullseye and we live. So instead of me making a fool of myself, I just say no.
No, no, we're
Okay.
only talking about one bullseye.
What
no,
is a
we're talking
bullseye?
about bull's eye,
Yeah.
Bull's eye. We're talking about bull's eye. We're talking about bull's eye.
Yeah.
Well, bullseye is
Yes,
a thing. It's
Carrots.
like a lamp, you
Yeah.
kind of a lamp or a light, right?
Bottle,
So
yes,
what
sir.
you
kerosene,
do now,
cloth
you
and
put,
thing.
you make a wick and you throw it
Mm-hmm.
down the bottle. But before you put the wick in, you
Mm-hmm.
put kerosene in,
Right.
Yes, sir.
right?
Right.
So now, and then you light it, because the
Right.
countryside didn't have any lights, so it's
Light,
in a
hmm
okay.
bottle, with a glass bottle. Then you put the wick in and you light it and stuff like that. So every time you see like it's going to go down, it's going to go out, you tip in the kerosene back up
Yeah.
so it could get back up. So
Right.
that's why we grow up and listening to all the songs in the country, crick, crick, crack, 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 crick, crick, and then, um, River City was the place I was going first. Then after I start to go to Granford when I get a little older and get to know the stories of the team and all them kind of a thing.
Mhm.
So that brings the story into life. You know what I mean? That
Right.
brings the
Yes,
story
sir.
together. You know, with how I come with the team and the L'Histoire, talking about Lua and Tija and Kopelape and Kopetig and
Right.
all the rest of them guys. You know, so that make the vibe roll, you know? Yeah.
Hmm. That's foundation. Those are the things that the kids of today they don't get that. And if they do get a little bit of Jinping or whatever they like the stuff you're talking about, they don't like. I don't see that anymore. The Tim Boasek and those type of things. You
Well,
know.
the thing is, the generation, changing and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
of
So that's
course,
what
of course.
Bouyon music's supposed to represent, to bridge the generation gap. So
Right.
we can pass on the culture, to
Hmm.
the next generation. It's like
Right.
passing the torch or
Yeah.
passing Uzai or passing whatever you may want to call it. But basically, that is the vibe that we're looking for, because if we stop that, what is going to happen is that now we're going to just, the culture is just going to die off
Right.
because it's going to have any continuity. It going to have the thing where you're passing on to one another. That's how we were successful because our great grandparents, our parents, and maybe our extended family, because that's why I grew up with in the yard I was with, extended family,
Right.
cousins, auntie, grandmother, great grandmother, and stuff like that. And our ancestors, that travel from so far to come down with the culture. That's why we still are the belly.
Hmm.
If they didn't move with it, then we would have a major problem.
True.
And the other thing is that now the youths and them seem to stand to suffer. Why? Because they do realize, recognize and respect the elders. They tell you come out there you old, but I have a message for them. That the kiko kwansa mi tiko shon ma de mama go shon mama kuma fe jello long kosa mama ladi tanto tanto. You check. So the
Right.
thing is now, from the time you're born, really, nobody asks you how young you are. They always ask you how
How
old are
old you
you.
are. Yep.
So that means you're old from the time you're born. You're old. You check. So now we have to start to respect one another,
Right.
support one another, strengthen one another. Respect one another.
Hmm.
And let's rise up. The way we're
Uplift,
supposed to rise up. Because we talk about unity, unity, unity. But
Right.
no, I read how many places and they say people stop listen to what people say and watch what they do. You know,
True.
because they say action
Yep.
expensive but talk cheap.
Yeah.
So
True.
that's the kind of a vibe,
Right.
we into, we need to have the vibes in a positive way to uplift and to strengthen. That's how we do it. We
Right.
really have to support one another and strengthen one another. Real, that's how
Hmm.
we do it.
So, usually we go on till 8 o'clock, which is this 8:02 right now. It's 9:02 your time. I'm not sure if you have more time that we could, to sit down and talk with us, or if you have other engagements.
No, well, the thing is my engagement is right there because when it comes to engaging,
Right.
I use the opportunity and if there's any message that I need to send across so people willing to, learn,
Right.
I have the time because I set the time to do it and I'm going to
Okay.
refuse, to disseminate the information because it's important, I don't
Right.
know who's listening, who's not listening.
Right.
But, even though I have one person listening, that's good.
Of course.
Because if you could change one person's life by the things that you do, I mean, that's a lot.
Right.
I mean, if you could change a million people, very good. But,
Right.
as they say, when the week fair sack the way, yeah? So
you, you, you,
one cocoa full of basket.
you see that can feel man there. You might be confusing him with the patois, so.
No, he's not confusing me, folks. I am doing great.
You
All right.
right, yeah, man. Don't be
I'm
afraid, man.
doing great,
But, for the people and them are understanding the Creole and stuff like that, we just drop in like a Creole now and then to mix it up, not to flavor it up, because that's why we do Bouyon is about Creole, English,
Everything.
Spanish,
French, Spanish.
tout bagay.
Right.
Everything like a mix, It's just like the music in itself,
Yeah.
And the food, the bouillon,
Of course.
is a potpourri. Anything I can mix with it. That won't spoil
Right.
the formula. That won't make it taste bad, yeah?
Yeah.
Because someone put in thing in the bouillon now and tasting bad. So, things like that happening. So, it's just that we, and we're not talking nobody because everybody trying, because
Of
sometimes
course.
you go cooking and stuff like that and you make a bad mix.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to throw the mix, wash up the pot.
Try again.
Yeah.
Cook. Yeah.
So that is how it is, So, we there working.
All right.
Yeah,
So
like
seeing
what you
that
said.
we have a little more time, let's go into some I want to talk raw rhythm. I want to go to 2000. Um, you know, seeing that you you were in WCK established, you guys are doing everything, and then you had to merge with your competition, meaning Mr. Roy.
That wasn't
How was
competition. That
that?
was competition.
Well, of course, that was competition.
Bro, you was competition.
WCK, Serenade, that's competition. So for you and you and Roy coming together, first of all, how did that happen, and how was that experience?
Well, the experience was something
Memorable.
different. Well, memorable too. Thanks for helping me out there. But I think it was great because now that gave an opportunity to bring in new musicians in the game
Right.
and to expand the whole Bouyon empire. So
Mhm.
to me, it was a good experience. And the other thing is knowing that those two bands were in that
Yeah.
rivalry kind of a thing.
Mhm.
You had WCK on one end, you had Serenade on the other end,
Right.
and you had the two lead vocalists from the both groups,
Yeah.
coming together to form
Yeah.
that with a set of um, new and not so new musicians. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the vibe was really nice because now the sound catch everybody one time.
Yes.
The
Yes.
whole impact of the band catch everybody one time. It was nothing but the band trying to make itself.
No.
As soon as that
No.
happened, everybody was there.
Yeah.
Yes, they done
Yeah.
with that vibe.
Yeah.
Into that, and you know the whole history behind that. You know what happened to
Mhm.
those guys during the carnival time when the band come out. That was
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that was
you know what was special about that year is where the band came from. It wasn't just the band on the road. It's where the band
oh
came
that
from.
that one was a different part of the whole thing, and it wasn't really planned. It
Right.
just happened to fall in place.
Hmm.
Where all bands were coming from the north.
Yeah.
Coming from the port to coming town
Yep.
for the Juve. We came from the south,
Start rolling from the
opposite
south.
direction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and roll into town.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I shiver in all those as I seen that.
I shivered as I talking to you
Yeah,
about it.
that was like skinning a cat.
Because let me tell you,
Yeah, trust me. It wasn't
Montego,
easy.
Montego
By the
Bay
time
was
by the
empty and
time we
full
done
in
with
a
that,
minute.
we done the Juve.
Hmm.
When
Nice.
we do that, we done the Juve, we could just walk around and see, well, the leftovers.
Right.
That's what happened. Sure. Yeah. I didn't really feel no way,
Right.
about that happening because it's the way the whole vibe ended up happening. It wasn't really a nice vibe, and
Hmm.
the effects of that are still felt
Right.
because the things that were said and the things that were done and the it's really terrible. I really wouldn't want to even start it now. It really wasn't a good feeling. The effects are still felt right now
Right.
because I think it's a bad thing for one to dirty a person's image, and say things that are
Mhm.
purely untrue,
Right.
about a certain individual.
Hmm.
Even though you have bad times now, but remember the good times, and usually good to cover the bad. I think it was really terrible, and I really didn't appreciate it. I never really talk about it. People try to bring it up in interviews and stuff like that.
Right.
I didn't really, care to talk about it and elaborate on it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Ajmal was just you know, a little thing,
Really, right.
you know, and Ajmal knows nothing about, WCK in terms of like performance and so. My older
Right.
son knows, but he didn't know nothing about that. Of Rory Dim, because Rory Dim only did like about like 4 to going to 5 years.
Right.
And he was still a little youth, so he didn't really,
Get that experience.
understand the vibe,
Right.
So certain times I tell him certain things and he's like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because even certain rhythms I show him, and so, I tell him about certain rhythm pattern and stuff. But
Right.
like, it's so I say, listen, Dre,
Mhm.
you're talking to,
Right.
I mean,
Been there, done
I
that.
know what I do,
Right.
I know what I do. I don't want to be haughty, I want to be boastful, but I know what I do, so
Right.
that's how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
Like me, if fellas doing it like that, it's like they copying a mistake. It's like a man make a mistake and they copying a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him no, that's the way it have to go. And it have other stuff that I didn't really bring to the whole because no, I didn't have the time, or some people wasn't ready to receive the vibe, so
Right.
it's like that. But
Mm-hmm.
really and truly, with Rory Dim, when Rory Dim come, that was like trust me, whoa. And I mean the last year of Rory Dim on the road,
Mm-hmm.
that was something, man.
Yes.
I don't know if somebody could give me the footage of that, but that was something.
Uh,
If I say it right now and you're trying to picture it, I don't know. But if you see the footage, you'll
Yeah.
understand exactly what we're talking about. I
yeah.
mean, if you know Rosso that way,
So you,
um,
you mean mapping TV do have an archive,
I
where
don't
there
know
are
if
some
they have it.
aerial footage, you
Yeah,
just
And
see Rory them,
that
face.
would be the
I
that's
get
the
recorder, but I give it to somebody. I tell them to film it, but they didn't film it. But
Ah,
okay.
nobody, me already. I
The
the guy I'd be singing because if you watch in Bandwagon Train,
mm-hmm.
mhm.
some of the footage I filmed that because when we was in New York performing, I had the camcorder. I singing, but I filming because I don't want to miss that moment. And
Right.
I don't think you had somebody there filming. So I was
Yes, yes, I
I was
understand.
like that
Yeah.
video. So I did
Mhm.
camcorder there filming that. So that's why Harry used some of the footage, what we had on Eastern Parkway and what
Right.
we had in the gig, the
Okay.
Saturday night gig for Labor Day. You
Mm.
know?
Right.
So but it's just that I hope map, somebody could have that footage. But it is what what really
Yes,
happened on the
sir.
road. And I mean fellas
Mhm.
talking about crowd, but no, for you to have a crowd, when you take the corner coming up in Independent Street and people still down by Church,
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
That is a
still
crowd.
down
Still
by
coming.
right there, by Church there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is something. That's a sight to behold.
That's the
That year was really something else. Yeah.
that's the year Raw Rhythm got Band of the Year, no?
I really can't remember now because
I
no,
Mhm.
we
I
get so
believe
much
so.
blues before that there, but
Yeah.
I see that, no. That time I come out blazing out, that time we come out blazing out because no, we got some blues
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
couple years before. We tried to put the band on the road.
yeah.
I don't know who
Right.
put water in the diesel and whoa, that was terrible. I don't know who came up with that kind of a thing to do, but I think it was very terrible. We didn't mean no trouble. We didn't need to cause no kind of harm to anybody. We just wanted to play. And, police had to stop us and stuff like that. People pay for the band, they pay for the t-shirt,
Right.
and, diesel all about the place and police had to pull us off. But I see the next year, trust me, most people didn't register for the band. But
Right.
when we hit the road, that was it.
It was like everybody registered
Yeah.
automatically.
Well, it looked like they re-register. So yeah, man. So that was the vibe right there, with Rory,
Right.
man. And I mean, with Roy, they on the scene because Roy have his kind of a vibe and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and it really worked
Well,
out good. I mean,
talk
yeah.
to us a little bit about that. Talk to us about transitioning from seeing him on the stage and knowing he either play before you or after you, right? And then you all actually coming together and mashing up a crowd now. What was that
Well,
experience with
I
you
was
like?
calling it fire and ice. I was
I
calling
don't want to laugh.
I was calling the have a good combination like fire and ice. So it was
Yeah.
like you know. Could imagine though, I remember when you do a session in the I can't remember who it was with. I don't know if it was Rory Dim or WCK when it had a lot of mud in the park and we say we're gonna make that mud turn into pussy, man. People were doing there, change that vibes, So that is what it was. So I mean the experience was really nice,
Right.
But to me the guy, I have no regrets, we still good bodies, we still alright, we hang
Right.
out, anytime I go up SM, we hang out. When he come down, we hang out, we
Right.
vibes up and stuff like that, So I figured that's the way, it is, you haven't got to remain like, even though you split, you have differences, but no, you can't be angry and vexed with one another. And the
Right.
thing is now, if somebody bringing something to the table, that's going to be something progressive for the whole, I think we should embrace it,
Right.
Yeah, I think we should embrace it. I don't think it should be, oh, Mr. Bringing that. No, no, no. And in 5 minutes time, you have the same thing running with. I don't think that's a nice vibe. I don't
Right.
think that's a positive vibe. I don't
But
think we're talking about progress that way.
Right.
and well, with that happening, it definitely had progress because it not only did you have WCK, you had WCK, Raw Rhythm, First Serenade,
Yeah.
and other bands on
RSB.
the road.
We'll leave
RSB, Rough and
RSB out.
Ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rough and Ready.
Yeah, rough and ready,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
So so that was and it was good to see it happen too at the time
Yeah.
because even at that time we didn't have a lot of collabs in our music period, whether it was Bouyon or Kadas or whatever. We didn't have a lot of
Except for
collabs.
what?
So
PIK
And
was one of our biggest
pull up
collabs.
too much
Right?
of a use word now, I mean, we've been doing collabs for a while and we're not even recognizing it. It's just like right now how the music industry is, and even DFC and all them things, we were doing the work all the time,
right.
but we never had the name for it. For instance, we went out there as ambassadors or whatever you may want to call the band or the individuals, whatever, and go
Right.
out there doing the work. Nobody recognize it and stuff like that, but the people outside recognize. But when you say nobody, meaning that the powers that be,
Right.
they never recognize what you're doing. For
Right.
instance, we'd go Labor Day, we'd go
Caravana.
it's one of their own Caribana.
Right.
We'd go London, you check,
Right. Northern Hill.
Notting Hill, and those for in the Caribbean. San Martin, as you know, was the Mecca.
Right. Even
St.
St.
Lucia,
Lucia. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
name it, we all about the place. St.
Right.
Thomas and Croix, we all about the place.
Mhm.
And we'd be doing that. But no, we never get recognized. I mean, we use our personal funds to be doing the kind of ambassadorship for Dominica, if it have that way.
Yeah,
You know?
that
Right.
seems to be on point. Yeah.
We did it there on our pockets. Right now, you have people being paid or whatever, or recognized, whatever, doing that. But no, we did it and it's just for the love. And I mean, that's why we say Bouyon music is. Bouyon music is a patriotic music.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
Patriotic.
Right.
We do it with heart, because we love it. That's why, you see so many youths that's into Bouyon music. Because we make sure that they are, it becomes them. It's part of them. It's them. It's their life. It's like Bouyon life. It's Bouyon culture. It's Bouyon kitchen. It's Bouyon tout bagay.
Right.
Something to call your own.
Yes, so now they fall in love with it, and it's the type of things that I did because I see the need for bringing people in, because you can't have a genre and you alone playing it. Stop posting.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you. I hear you speak a lot about collaboration this evening, right? Hypothetically, for the fans watching live, if in the 90s when you're on top of your game, is there a band or a band that stood out to you, you would think back and say, I would have loved to do a collaboration with them at that time?
Well, I wouldn't even look at it as a band that stand out, Anybody I figure that could work, and I could work with, because I collab with RSB, maybe not with a song, but taking them over to St. Croix and stuff like that when we were supposed to get the gig, and for some reason we were unable to do it. I passed the gig to them. That's a form of collab.
Right.
That's
Okay.
a form of coming together.
Right.
That's a form of you know cooperating.
Yeah, most definitely.
Understood.
That is
Hmm.
the kind of things that we're talking about. So no collab not just rest solely on you just gonna do a song with a man.
Like a studio work, exactly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. To me,
Okay.
it goes beyond that.
Hmm.
In my mind, I
Right.
Hmm.
mean, some people may watch it different and know we collab on a song and thing. It's just like unity.
Hmm.
If we unity and we do cooperate, you check, we do support. To me,
Yes,
this
sir.
support more important than it just belong to be unity. Yeah, unity and
Yeah.
you're not cooperating and you're not supporting. That means nothing to me.
Like you say,
If you
your
support,
actions. Yeah.
yes, if you support,
Right. But
that's
but it
small. It's
but
just
even in
like a
even
promise
if
and delivering. You promise
right.
in one hand, but you deliver in the other hand. Which hand you prefer? Do you want to promise or do you want to deliver?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. And what's it like working with your son now as you bring that up? Because before we got cut earlier, you were speaking a lot about the youths and the ones that you're working with. Seen you in a
Oh,
video with Ajmal last month for Mascam,
yeah, yeah,
where I believe King Dice was hosting.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, now, I had to go and take a shot of Appleton
Mm-hmm.
because no, halfway through, or you had me dancing
Big
and hey,
commercial.
big up the Ajmal. Yeah, he was really clean cut on the switches, man, and you all were getting into it. So what is that experience like for you now?
Well, the thing is, I waited a couple years for that to really happen. I want to give thanks to the Most High
Hmm.
um, for blessing me with a son that in a crucial area in the music, because I work with a lot of other producers and programmers and stuff like that. So the Most High bless me now right there. With my son that can program, he can produce. He's a keyboard player. He's a studio engineer. Also, he's a live engineer as well. So to me, that's just a gift, and I count my blessing.
Yes, sir.
Um, for the work that he's doing, and not only with me, but now with other people that he's working with. And to be honest, I don't really jump in and interfere. If he asks me for some advice, I'll tell him. Or sometimes I hear something,
Hmm.
I ask him if I can talk to him about something. But I'd already imposed myself on him and tell him, oh, it's like this, do that like that, because I'll tell you straight, it a couple of things that the guy does, like boy, I pray that I could do, what he's doing, but no, it's not. I mean, you could say it's in the jeans or in the t-shirt or in the vest, but no.
Hmm.
I
So,
mean, you have it, I mean, I thank God for that. And working with him is like a good experience. Of course, he has his band, and I think they're in the process of rebranding and doing some stuff.
okay, nice.
So I hear working with him. So any which way that he wants me, then he can call on me. Then I'll volunteer myself too, you know, um, to make the vibe work. Because now if I could work with other people and develop other artists, because
Hmm.
I work with a lot of artists and bringing out a lot of artists, because I think that's the way to go.
Right.
That's the way to really make the industry thrive. I mean, names I cannot even
Positive.
remember. People have to remind me. It could be producers, it could be
Right.
musicians, it could be
Mm.
artists herself, singers, performers. I think it's very important that you encourage, to
Right.
make the industry move.
Hmm.
To I mean, somebody talk about, say, we don't have an industry here. I mean, they may have a point to a certain extent, but I wouldn't totally agree with them, because we have an
You think that
industry that need to be organized. You
Right.
know, we need to organize, and one of the ways that we can really organize is to cooperate and support. Because a lot of us there, but we don't support. I see it so many, and I don't want to overemphasize on that, but no, we need to support one another, man. We
Of
definitely
course.
need to support one another.
Right.
To
Talking
make it
as
work.
Dominicans on a
Yeah,
whole,
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
Caribbean
yeah.
people on a whole,
Is this happening, to
black man
see
on a
things
whole.
just kind of make me angry, but again,
Right.
you have to get a hold of your emotions and stuff like that to make it get the better of you and use use reasoning and use wisdom, to keep
Right.
yourself balanced, but certain times I find, and what hurts even more, you find certain people coming up with like they repackage the whole vibes and they have a brand new idea.
Hmm.
The same thing you've been talking about for the longest while here. So when I watch that, I just sometimes just shake my head.
Right.
What it does have, I'm shaking my head on what is it?
S
Oh, let me see.
SMH.
Hello, I'm
SMH.
shaking my
Yeah.
head and all that.
Wait,
I
wait,
don't know what
chicken
to
Okay,
my guy.
yeah.
So,
Not my
Micah,
fault.
Micah, do you have
Not
Uh,
my
anything
fault.
from
I can
Facebook?
just express. I can only be me.
Um,
Yeah.
no, there's no questions, but I have one of my own. So what is
Yeah.
your favorite, you could say, performance that you ever was part of in
Favorite
your
Dissect.
entire
performance?
career?
You can say dissect, because you're live right now.
Yeah. That is one of my favorites, but I mean, I have so many favorites.
Right.
I would think one I remember it was in London. I
Mhm.
remember that one in London. I think I told some people about that. I mean, when
Yeah.
we went to London and stuff like that, and I wasn't really too impressed going to England because they say, oh, England have a set of mad people and stuff like that. I was, I wasn't really impressed with going to England. And finally we go there, because we're going to the States all the time, but we haven't gone to England yet. So
Right.
when we
Okay.
went to England and stuff like that, when we land and sing, I start to see the vibe I see, but whoa,
What year is this? Without cutting it.
it's somewhere about 91.
Okay.
Is that here? Somewhere around there.
Would that
Oh,
be around the follow the lead album?
around somewhere around that time.
So yeah,
Okay.
1991 around there. Yeah.
Around that time.
Right.
Okay, so not too badly off there. So somewhere around there. And when we went there and stuff like that, and we played in a club called Shinolas. But
Mhm.
there's a type of club that they cut it in sections. So when they cut the first section, that full. So now they go and they decide, boy, that sell out. So the guy asks for extension. They extend the hall, man, to the other section.
Right.
Then to the third section. Full out. And people come from, I mean, it have London Central, right? People
Right.
come from Leeds and Preston and all them side
They're
there,
coming from the
So,
suburbs.
yes,
Mhm.
man, they come from
Okay.
far.
Mhm.
And, people outside, they're making noise because they can't get in.
Right.
Because the place still low. I'd be like, and all the time we performing is like after the show, they're telling us, boy, that's what happened there. Because we ourselves, we hot in the moment there now, we're not checking what going on there, we element and,
Yeah.
let him go as all shots that we have, all our arsenal, letting it go.
Mm.
It's after the guy, Maymont, what's his name? Maymont Matthew,
Right.
it's a good guy. He's here right now. He's in Dominica right now.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And when he told us, what went on and stuff like that, I'd be like, wow. So that was one. Two, another one was when we went to New York and we performed for Labor Day.
Hmm.
Of course, not forgetting the Apollo Theater when we perform in the Apollo.
Right.
That was nice too.
Nice.
We get nominated for some kind of award and thing like that. We was more excited in playing the Apollo.
Right.
The Apollo.
They're getting the
Anyway,
award. Huh?
we went to that gig, with Aswad. Aswad is one of my favorite groups, because
Right.
I love reggae. I kind of a reggae kind of a fella. I love reggae. Roots rock reggae, double reggae,
Right.
rockers. You just name it.
Right.
Love it. And I went to see Aswad, because Aswad to me is the king of dub. Kings of dub. So we went to that show, it was my brother in New York. That's Lionel Leslie, Lion.
Right.
And on our way from Queens, we end up meeting Smokey, going to the same show.
Mhm.
Smokey was coming from a different direction. All of us was from Queens, coming from Queens,
But
But
the
I was coming
different
from
places.
Jamaica area, but he was coming from Corona.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
we end up meeting in that same car. So we're like, yeah, we're going to go to the Aswad show, man. Okay, fine. We reached there, somewhere on 34th Street. And when we went there, when I see, we enter there, I find the crowd. Okay, it's all right. And crowd start to build and so. But after I see, but wait a while now, I have Aswad up there, big, big, big. But to me, the crowd that we had was maybe about 4, 5 times that amount.
Wow.
So that means we big.
Yeah. Bigger than as
You
well.
know, I say we
Oh
big because
man.
Right.
if we could cop that. And the other thing is that the time I was walking on 34th Street and I went to a Wiz. That time they still had Wiz, Yeah,
Okay.
everybody beats the
Yes.
Wiz. So
Everybody beats the
I go
Weeze.
inside Wiz. I meet a yard man, Jamaican. Me know you. Me know the band. Double. I say, but with a while,
Right.
oh, so that all in the Jamaican community, man.
Yes,
And next
sir.
time I on
Nice.
Queens walking and I meet a guy, I go in a Foot Locker or whatever it was. One of them shoe they are looking for sneaker, which sneaker not really my favorite, but I just say, sneaker is the latest. Let me put a sneaker.
Try a
I
thing.
buy a sneaker.
Yeah.
Man, I know you. I see where you from. Guyana, man, me from. I really swear that Guyana. Okay, so we big all that side. So then I realized, how far we were reaching and stuff like that.
Right.
So I see now that instant in London
Mhm.
and
Apollo,
in New York,
New
that
York.
really make me see that that we big and that really stand with it stay on my mind,
Right.
knowing how big we are. I mean it had other instances, but these two kind of stand out,
Right.
That you know that your music has traveled or it is traveling. It's making an
Oh yes,
impact.
oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And the thing is now is the originality of the music, you know what I mean?
Right. Of course.
The authenticity of the music, the vibe of the music. That's what that really catch people. Because other
Right.
people doing their softener, but now it's the kind of accent that we put in the rhythm.
Mhm.
It kind of catch people, and that is what I know makes you a real musician. Not going and play ABC like everybody ABC, because a is a C is a C, and a D is a D.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But it's the approach. It's the way you play the rhythm. It's
Right.
the accent. You check me? That
Right.
giving you the vibe. Because reggae have a A, hip hop have a A,
Yep.
but it's not played the same way.
Right. True.
You check
True.
me? The approach.
That is
You
true.
check me? The I call it now the application. You
Mhm.
check? It's different, So as I said, I love the vibe because I love the originality. I love original. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Well,
So
Ra, we have to thank you for sticking with us till 8:30.
are we leaving now, Navi? Well, we was just getting started.
I know we're just getting
For
started, and
sure.
everybody always want more, right? Um,
Mhm.
but
We wanted the cake, not just the icing. So, but continue.
don't get Ra started with that cake and icing thing. Don't
Silver
get, so yeah, it's 8:30. Unless you have any more questions that you would like to ask Ra, then we could go ahead and do that.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you on behalf of myself, TDN, and all the fans watching who can agree. Thank you for getting the internet correction correct. Blessings for that. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
I must apologize to everyone watching. I really was really feeling bad that whatever happened
Right.
at the time. But no, as a man, I don't give up like that. At my son
Yeah.
working, of course, we have to give it kudos to Ajmal for
Oh yes.
working and making sure that happen. Is my technical guy online there. So myself, I figure I have to get my ABC online because COVID and the whole story.
Yeah.
COVID, as I tell people, is not just wash your hand, sanitize your hand
Right.
and wear a mask and all that. The real thing about COVID is the reset. That is what COVID is. It's the reset.
Hmm.
People may say yes or no or whatever, and take your
Right.
injection, and so by the time you finish, you look like a greater. Take your injection.
Yes,
The
sir.
first wave, first wave, the second wave, the
Oh
third
man.
wave. By the time you finish, you'll be like, if you want to go to Trinidad to wave your flag, you know, and in Carnival, some people talking about, you know, get injected to get for you to have a good Carnival.
Yes, sir.
I really don't know, you know, if that will really help, because now, even though you take an injection,
Yes, sir.
you can still get it. You
Right.
can still pass it on.
Mhm.
You have to wear your mask. You have to sanitize. You have to take your booster. You have to be ready for the new wave, and it always have another wave.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
these
there is
are
a
my
recurring decimal there. But the real thing that happening there now is the way
Oh,
everything has been
man.
done.
Right.
Yes, sir.
The way you're going to bank, the
Yep.
way you're going to be watching anything, performance,
Mhm.
entertainment,
Mhm.
may it be basketball, football,
Right.
cricket, Nepal video, the whole thing going to change. Shopping going to change, because long they fixing up that thing about shopping online and all
Has
that.
has already
Yeah,
started
it has
changing,
already
right?
started. Mhm.
Right. So no, that shopping online.
We don't go to the grocery store no more. Come to us.
Right. Exactly. I mean, so I think is the way you travel, you know, and all
Yeah.
that, you know. So
Yeah.
that is
Man
what it
stop
is. So
getting man stop
it's
getting
a good
fig.
fix that going on there. So now COVID isn't gonna be there for a while. COVID
Yeah,
is
of
gonna go
course.
away, because COVID is the new change, is the new,
Right.
what they call it,
So
the new norm. What they calling it, the new,
The new norm.
I
Yeah.
was
the new
gonna
norm.
The
I
new
was
Yeah.
norm.
gonna say we're going to stop getting fig in foreign and start getting green banana. That's what we're gonna start getting.
Oh, we're
Well,
getting
I
that
don't
already.
know what's happening there. I mean, the whole thing gonna change. So no, so really and truly, we have to see how it goes, because I mean, I think they say they want to have carnival, but they want to have
Right.
carnival in a bubble. If you're not vaccinated, you can't come to carnival.
Is this
And
for
stuff like that.
2022?
They want to put it yes. They want to put it a certain place. You have to you have your vaccinated passport for you to pass. But no, I really don't know how that's going to really work, because,
Right.
and for tourists, for when tourists pass in. But as you know, Carnival in DA, I mean, I don't know if international people watching, but no, Carnival in DA is really we.
Mm-hmm.
It's we, you know, doing Carnival.
Right.
Okay? And as I was saying on a previous show, that, you know, the Carnival vibes change, meaning that Monday go on Tuesday, Tuesday go on Monday.
Right.
You know, the Juve we used to have on Monday as usual. Costume coming out on Monday. That's
Right.
what will happen. Tuesday now, then you have gangs. When we say gangs, we don't mean gangs.
T-shirt bands.
T-shirt band.
Right.
Fellas coming out with their different outfits. We had things like chandels, we had fantastics, we had the Archies, we had you just name it. All them
Right.
different gangs would come out and show their outfit. That means outfits like dress style, you know,
Right.
in style and stuff like that. Not feather and thing. The feather was on Monday. Then
Yeah.
Tuesday, all like them kind of thing falling canal. We forget about that, right?
Hmm.
But right
Mhm.
now they change it now. They put all the climax on the Monday, and the
And
what
the
else, the
costume on
beginning on the
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So I
Oh.
think to myself, that is a caution, if you ask me.
Right.
I think our carnival should go back to the original carnival
Of
vibe, because
course.
that's what people love, the
Of course.
originality. You come and I
Yeah,
want to
that's
copy people and put in costume thing and talking about the stories. It's feather and brazier and thing and little, you know, that is why it
right.
is.
Let you on dissect first.
Yeah, you know, so to be
Yes, sir.
dissecting.
We
The
still
second.
dissecting, you know.
Like we vibe. Whereas we, you know, we had before, we had the Blackies, we had the guys the Suswell Suwi and all them kind
Right.
of thing. All them thing there's kind of
Fancy
loose.
and all
And we're
this,
talking
right.
about the most traditional or whatever carnival. That's what they advertising it as. But to me
Okay.
that come like false advertising, because no,
You don't
you
get
bring a different kind of a thing. You bring in Brazil kind of a style first and Trinidad kind of a
Right.
thing, because Trinidad copied that from Brazil, right?
Right.
And you bring that first. But
Mm.
that's not our thing. Our thing is our original kind of a thing there, you know what I mean? Before Keys and on people would know Suswell Suwi and all them kind of a thing there. And I mean, no, as we're talking about culture, that's what we're losing.
So maybe
No?
they feeling like our culture is probably not marketable.
which is
Well,
Which
if you're
which is
talking
which
which
about the
is
most
which is
unique carnival,
economics
yeah,
101,
but
Mhm.
guys,
right?
these are the most unique carnival now, and now you're taking all the uniqueness in it to do what?
Yeah, to water it down.
We have to understand what we're really doing.
All right.
You know,
Maybe
True.
they're just
right
trying to
now,
take over it.
what's that?
Maybe they're just trying to take over it,
Yeah, but no,
but they're failing at it.
you cannot have people that was watching carnival on their veranda. No, these the one organizing carnival for us.
All right.
You know,
True.
Right.
I guess they smart.
Mm-hmm.
They study a lot of books. They know a lot of things. They know how to do accounts. They know all them kind of a thing. And basically that's it.
But
But
Like you
the
that's
say, you're
real
stripping the
carnival lovers
culture.
themselves that know about carnival, they're
right.
taking them out
Of
of the
course.
equation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
They're
sir.
taking them out
Mm-hmm.
of the equation now, and they putting fellas that never run carnival.
Right.
They mother have them in their pram and all kind of a thing. They're strolling around there.
If
They never really play carnival. So it's kind of a tough.
right.
Right.
It's really kind of a tough. So no, these are the kind of people that organizing carnival for us now. So no, we kind of losing ourselves. We
Right.
losing our culture.
Right.
We losing ourselves.
Yeah, and
We need
that's a
people now. We need people that can really reinstate and to maintain,
yeah.
our
Right.
culture. We need them
Mm-hmm.
people in place.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, when you have a when you're part of something, you have more experience than just watching it. But I guess that's just how the workforce works, right? People is the people that have the money and figure, "Oh, I can do that." They're the one running it. It's like we have somebody that's running a big program in Dominica right now, and he tell me he's still acting. I'm like, why are you still acting? Like, I saw what you did. What you did was big. It's the biggest
Well,
thing I ever seen from Dominica, and you're still acting
well,
officer.
the thing
So,
is, as you know, Dominica have a lot of actors. They acting.
Wow.
Sometimes they die acting. You
hmm,
know,
Yes, sir.
acting as this, acting as that, and stuff like that. I think we lacking in respecting people and
right,
appreciating people.
right. Hmm.
I mean, they like to me, they like to worship the dead, meaning that when you're alive, they want to come and bring a little food for you or nothing like that. But when you're
True.
dead, they're busy to bring things for happy hour. So
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know, the celebration is because you're gone or because you was they celebrating your life. But if they
Right.
celebrate in your life while you're living, they're supposed to be celebrating your life.
Facts.
You check?
Mhm.
Celebrating
Yes,
the
sir.
things that you do and encouraging, because look at a man like Chubby.
Hmm.
Chubby is still strong and stuff like that and moving
Yep.
around and stuff like that. I don't find they giving Chubby any
Not
recognition.
at all.
I don't think they showing him any respect. I don't
Not
think
at
they
all.
showing him any love. You check
Hmm.
me? And
Hmm.
and when you go now, you'll hear everybody crying, oh, he was so much of a nice guy. He did
Right.
this and he did that.
Right.
And lo, lo, lo,
Okay.
la, la, la. I tell him already, don't bring flour for me when I did. Give
Hmm.
me my flour so I can make bakes, I can make cakes, I can make
Facts.
different things with my flour.
Yes.
Facts.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ye-
because I don't flour next thing they just, I really not interested in flour. Maybe it's spelling different, but flour is flour, cat man.
Right. You
So
know,
Right.
I have to give you props on because you well, not just because you said Chobi, but Chobi is one person that don't get a lot of respect. But there's many more. Um I've done a lot of interviews. I have not interviewed that person myself, but you the only person I think I've spoke to and mentioned Skinny. And to me, Skinny Banton, aka Shadow Flow, um, he holds a big stature in the Bouyon game. He did the dub thing. So, you know, big up to you on that for actually, giving those guys their flowers. People like Chobi and Skinny and all these guys. So, you know,
like we haven't even talked about Sky, because Sky was part of Rory Dim. We brought in
right,
Sky.
exactly,
We
right?
brought in Sky, to because when I see now Skinny was already with
CK.
already doing things with CK. I
Hmm.
see, well, Sky is a man around and in the same vibe,
Right,
why not bring him on,
right.
why not bring him on, because now we need more people like that in the vibe to keep it
Hmm.
rolling.
Right,
And of course you have to give it to a man like Skinny for being one of the first man now to really come out with that vibe. So
right.
you
Hmm.
have to give Jack his jacket.
Of course,
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
of
definitely
course.
have to do that. And of
Yes, sir.
course to the different groups, that help,
Yes, yes,
propel the vibes.
of course.
You cannot keep them man out of the conversation. I mean, even bands like Serenade, they play their part too.
Right.
RSB played their part too. Rough and Ready played their part too. You
Right.
check. So, you
All,
cannot have the Bouyon conversation and leave
all,
them
all
out.
this all these people you will see on Dissect too, the names that you've mentioned. So
Yeah, most
know.
definitely. Because no, that's why we need people like you and thinkers like you that could see the vibe and have the conversation,
right.
and make them
Yes.
bring out it, because you can't bury those people, man. After they make that kind of a contribution, for instance,
After all.
Eric Badwill,
Yes.
Eric did,
That,
some good stuff too,
that's a
together with
man that's
Paul,
hard to
So,
find.
yeah, so the way it is, you cannot keep them, man, out of the conversation. I think it would be a bit unfair,
Yeah, most
and
definitely.
selfish,
Right, of course.
not
Of course.
to, because the idea of the bouillon is a big pot, and it have enough for everybody. You watching the time?
No. I watching the comment. I watching a comment from Glenda actually that pop up on the screen.
It's a big pot, right? But
Right.
the idea of the bouillon, right? You
Mhm.
alone can eat a big pot of bouillon with a teaspoon.
Right.
Hmm?
Right.
It's
Right.
supposed to be you take a plate that can feed yourself,
Yeah, everybody can get their
overflow
bowl from the
yourself,
pot.
satisfying.
Right.
Then you'll have enough to share.
Right.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
can get a plate.
Yes, sir.
Why is the sense of you alone trying to take all the meat, or you're trying to take all the dumb way, or you're trying to take all the fig, or you're trying to take everything, or just take the whole sauce?
Right.
You can't do that.
Yep.
Everybody's supposed to get a fair share, and be satisfied, because
Of course.
it's there to nourish. It's there to uplift, and that's part of the concept of bouillon. So bouillon is not just like it's just bouillon. No, it's more than that.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
sir.
way of
To
life.
share, is to give love. Is a food.
Right.
Because the bouillon in itself is a food, the physical bouillon.
Right. Yeah.
That the cooking bouillon, but no, the other cooking no, is a food for the brain. The music.
Yeah, music
Right.
It's a
just
food for the
make you
brain,
feel good,
because
right?
music is brain food,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right?
Right.
It fixes up your mood. It strengthens you. It inspires you. It could break you down. It could, it could play with your emotions. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
why
sir.
now we ourselves have to be positive and give some positive lyrics. Because you have to give lyrics that will, how you see, stand the test
Uplift.
of time.
Right. Yes.
You
Yes.
get me?
Sure.
Yes.
Whenever we
Sure.
play,
Yeah.
because when I write, I think of man like Bob. You check. I think of man like Bonnie Wheeler. I think of man like Bosch. Dennis Brown. You check. Sorry,
Right.
I didn't make mention of them guys like that, but no.
No, that's okay.
It have certain guys that I think of. Fella Ransom Kunti.
Right.
It have quite a few of them that I listen. Because I listen to a wide variety of music.
Right.
From youth,
Nice.
from Santana to Tito Puente to Malo to Osibesa to Olatunji. Not the old notice Olatunji are there.
No.
Olatunji from Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um,
What I tuned there, yes, sir.
Yes, then we could talk about the Motown songs and stuff like that, so I feel
Right.
myself prefer
Yeah.
a lot of that, because music is music. You check?
Yes, sir.
Music is music, and once the music is good and sends a positive message, that's what we want, because the
Right.
music already in Bouyon is good, It's
Yes,
just
sir.
lyrical content, and I could say that, it's improving, because I hear one, two thing there, I just pass on the radio because I don't listen to the radio that much, to be honest, confess.
Right.
I listen now and then, and I happen to hear something, that some guy, release and stuff like that, and you could see the lyrical a little more structured, they have a little more nice storyline, so
Right.
big up to the youths and them that understand that kind of a vibe, and they will come in because now Bouyon, we haven't seen the full potential of Bouyon, just the tip of the iceberg, and I could see Bouyon moving from strength to strength, and
Right.
somebody saying Bouyon this or Bouyon that, but Bouyon moving from strength to strength, because now, as they say, the young ones are born before the old ones die, so
Yes.
we're moving from strength to strength, and that's what I really wanted to see. And if you ask me, that is one of my greatest achievements, to see the youths and them embracing it. Even though
Right.
some people are turned their back on Bouyon, some people are quote unquote, and be creator, whatever, they turn their back.
Right.
I never decided to turn my back. because I couldn't have my babies and turn my back on them. And after my what? You have your babies, you look about them, make sure they grow up properly, and you nurture them and you educate them.
Right.
You know, proper education, with wisdom, you know, and balance, equilibrium, them kind of a thing there, you know.
Right.
You know, that kind of a vibe there. Positive reasoning, you know, to raise them up properly, because now that's what we need. That is the conversation we're supposed to have.
Right.
And recognize the scene. Because, you know, so I'll be very happy that a man like you, you know, and Imon, of course, and my sister down there, right, are there working and encouraging and pushing the vibes, because that's what we need. I've been crying for the longest while for that. I've been crying, and what I could see there basically is like homegrown, you know. It's from the youth and them out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, you know. You check me, out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, you know, because they're coming up with the vibe, you know, and I have a lot to praise Jah for, you know. And I think that, you know, when you learn something, it's not for you personally.
Truth.
When you learn something, you hold it to pass it on, you know, and
enrich others.
Make a better version of yourself and encourage people them to make a better version of themselves. So
Right.
we all rise.
Yep.
As a family, as a nation, as a race, the human race. But first of all, we have to think of, you know, charity begins at home. So that's what it is. You know? So basically, that's how we do it. You know, we have to rise up, you know. So we just want to strengthen one another and support, you know, because my word there for tonight there is support.
Right.
You know, we don't want to be just talking both sides of our mouth and whistling along the middle. You know, we want to really
put some action in.
Give in. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because I tell you already, action expensive, but talk cheap. You know,
yes,
so we really need to put in the action, you know. As I tell you already, I don't listen to what people say, I watch what they do. You know, because a man can tell you, oh, deep and that, and you have a pie in the sky and water from the moon, but no, we really want to see it in works, you know. We really want to see it in works. We want to see it in manifestation, you know. That's the thing that we want, you know. And as I say, support is the word, you know, support. And we win real support, you know. That's what we need. We need that vibe.
Properly.
Yeah, from Ra himself. Support the Bouyon vibes. That means support Dissect, support TDN, support Islands Therapy, Bouyon Kitchen, everything, even sports. All that is part of the Bouyon. It's way of life. It's not just music. It's what we eat. It's everything. It's us, right? So, Ra, on that half, thank you for joining us, sir. And in the future, I hope we could do this again. And again, thank you for sticking out with us. You know what happened in the first half, and we apologize to all the viewers, and I hope you guys were satisfied tonight. Another episode of Dissect, and
I know a lot of y'all came back too, so thank you.
That's right.
And all this talk about bouillon is making me hungry.
So until next week, guys, we'll see you right back here on Dissect. Thank you, Nika. Thank you, Iman. Thank you to our special guest, the man, Derrick Peters himself.
Well, thanks for having me here. And you know, have a blessed night, you know. I know some people put some funny comments there, but, you know, all that is part of the game, you know.
Right.
Life is like that, you know. All sort of people make the world, you know. So, you know, that's how it is. You know, we also want to thank for whoever listening and stuff like that. I hope it give them some form of knowledge and some positive vibe, you know.
Right. Did you want the funny comments? I see one. Did you want to address it or leave that alone?
It just asking if the milk sweet more, deal.
Oh, Maggie know the milk sweet already, man. Maggie know the milk sweet, you know that. You should ask Maurice if the milk sweet too.
I think you did, you know, and I must have missed it, or we must have missed it. So
So that's codes. That's codes inside there. That's codes.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. When Maggie come, I'll ask him if the milk sweet.
Yeah. Ask him if the milk sweet and tell me why the milk so sweet and who's sweet the milk.
All right. So on behalf of TDN Islands Therapy, thank you, Sam, our producer. Nige, thank you. And we will see you guys next week when we talk to the First Serenade Band. Have a blessed week, blessed weekend. God bless.